2 years ago, Watch Dogs 2 released to the world, giving us a closer look at the group known as DedSec. DedSec was first hinted at in the first game as a mysterious hacking group with a lot of power. Now, since the first game received some backlash for being too dark, which I will never understand, Ubisoft decided to pull a complete 180 and we were left with a very different sequel in terms of tone. Watch Dogs 2 is a more colorful, bright, and just funny game compared to the first. As I mentioned, we follow DedSec in this game, so the story doesn't feel completely separate from the first. We have T-Bone returning as a side character, there's Aiden Pierce, Tobias, and even Jordy Chin through the DLC. The main hacking system is the CTOS 2.0, and we have Bloom returning again as well. So the story does have some nods to the first game. For me personally, I always preferred the darker tone, but I know a lot of people who prefer this game more. It's just about personal preference. I will say this, playing the story again 2 years later, I do think it's a bit better than when I originally played it. The same exact thing happened with Watch Dogs 1. The more I played through the story, the more I enjoyed some characters. When Watch Dogs 2 released, I thought Wrench was just kinda meh, but after hearing and seeing his story again, I like him way more. He's kind of this Deadpool-esque character. He's a bit broken, but he still has fun and just makes jokes. Sure, not all of the jokes land, but I like him way more than I originally did. Watch Dogs 2 also does some things better than the original in terms of gameplay. The parkour is just way better. Marcus can do backflips, jump from buildings, and it just feels a lot more smooth. The driving, I feel like, is a step up, although it can still be improved. And let's not forget all about the new hacking abilities. You can control cars, distract enemies through your RC jumper or drone, and my personal favorite, calling the cops on gang members or just random civilians. Customization is also a big step up. In the first game, you could only change outfits, but in this game, you can basically change everything and go outside in your boxers. And you know what? That's actually accurate to San Francisco, so props to Ubisoft there. The only thing that's worse about this game, especially 2 years later, is the online. The player count, as you would imagine, is very low, so you'll be waiting quite some time to find a game, at least on PC. Not to mention, when you finally get a game, you'll most likely be killed by a grenade launcher over and over again. Ubisoft never really fixed some of the online issues, so the only good remaining modes is online hacking or online tailing. Showdown is a broken mess, and no one plays online races. I've said this before, and I'll say it again, I hope for Watch Dogs 3, Ubisoft have an online mode that keeps players coming back. Because once you beat Watch Dogs 2, that's really it. There's nothing else to do. Also, before I forget, I really love the whole shuffler mystery they put into this game. It's dark and weird, but the community came together to solve that mystery. I really hope they expand on this element in Watch Dogs 3. A couple smaller things that I liked were the soundtrack, the hacker spaces, and the fact that there is actually dogs in Watch Dogs. But anyways, that's going to bring us to the end of this video. Let me know what you think about Watch Dogs 2 in the comments down below. I definitely recommend playing this game again if you haven't played it since launch because, again, you might actually enjoy some of the story a bit more. Also, yeah, I'm not dead. Sorry to disappoint some of you. I know it's been so long since I made a video, but to be honest, I've just been burnt out on Ubisoft games. If I don't enjoy what I'm talking about, I don't want to force myself to make content. Now, with that said, I had a lot of fun making this video and talking about Watch Dogs, so you'll probably start seeing some more content again. As always though, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all later.